Hello, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Books with Not Just Free. If you've seen some of my previous episodes, you would have noticed that I have sort of changed places where I shoot from. In one of my last episodes, I actually chose a nearby park to shoot one of my episodes. Today, you see there's also a lot of greenery where I'm around. And I think I'm really loving getting outdoors and shooting for my videos rather than doing my videos from inside my house. I don't know what you think about it. One of my close friends and early subscribers, she did mention that I should use a tripod and sit quietly in a place and shoot the video. Absolutely, I agree with that. But unfortunately, I'm currently on vacation, so I don't have my tripod. So I'm just hand holding my camera. I'm trying to move as little as possible, and I really hope that I'm getting the desired output. But anyway, just look at this beautiful background. I'm just loving this here. All right, of course, I've got some bling on because it's Diwali, the festival of lights. If you're an Indian, you know what Diwali is. I don't have to mention, but if you're not from India, Diwali is the festival of lights, one of the biggest festivals across that's celebrated across India. So, yeah, that's the bling factor. So let's get back to business and let's talk about the book that I wanted to review today. And of course, before we do that, I would really request you, if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, to subscribe to the channel because it does mean a lot to me. There's a lot that is going on in my life right now, and it is difficult for me to take time out to do these videos, but every new subscriber that I gain gives me that added impetus to go ahead and shoot these videos and then edit them and post them. So I would really love if you do subscribe to my channel if you're watching this, and of course if you like this video, then do give it a thumbs up. All right, so now back to the book that I wanted to review today, and that's The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. There's just been a lot of talk about this book. There are lots of rave reviews about this book. Personally, I have received a lot of great reviews about this book. And so I really just wanted to pick it up and give it a read and see what this is all about. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the truth about Evelyn Hugo, or the truth about The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and my views about the book. And whether I liked it or not. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo has been written by Taylor Jenkin Reid, and it was published, I think, in 2017. Taylor Jenkin Reid is an American author, and this is probably her first noteworthy book, but I might be absolutely wrong. I do not follow her as an author. I only came across her writing through The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So if you have read other books by her, and if you've liked it, hated it, whatever, do let me know in the comments below. So The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is about a fictional old Hollywood megastar, Evelyn Hugo. And as the title suggests, it's about her seven husbands. Well, essentially, she's now 79 years old, and she wants to bear it all in a biography. And she contacts a rookie or a newbie journalist from a pretty big magazine, and then gives her interview to this journalist and asks this journalist to write her biography when she's gone. And hence the book is pretty much narrated in first person by Evelyn Hugo herself, as she talks about her entire life, her career spanning what I think 40 or 50 odd years in Hollywood, and of course her scandalous life, and well, the truth behind the seven marriages that she had. All in all, it's a very typical Hollywood pot boiler, which has everything from love to lust to flame to glory to heartbreak to pain, and everything that has to do with the world of glamour. It's a moderately long book at 400 pages, but then if she's supposed to be talking about seven marriages and seven husbands, then I believe it would take about 400 pages. But jokes aside, it is a moderately longish book. But given that it is um, narrated in first person, and also has these pot boiler elements in it. It is not a very, it is not, it is definitely not a boring read. You would glide past those 400 pages even before you know it. For me, it was a very average read. If you followed me enough, you know that I do not let go of a book, uh, even if I don't like a book. And so I continued reading this book, even though I was not smitten by it from the beginning. The language is quite simple and lucid. The emotions are not very complex, but I would say that the author has done a good job of depicting the subtle complexities of emotions. The story, as I said, is pretty fast paced, given, as I said, I keep using this term, a pot boiler. It is indeed a pot boiler. It's a fast paced book. So, as I said, you're not going to get very easily bored with this book. But again, the storyline is average and nothing to talk home about. But as I continued reading the story, I would say I was smitten by it. But I think Evelyn Hugo sort of starts growing on you. I kind of got enthralled more and more, and I reached almost a point where it was almost unputdownable. I wanted to read through and see what was going on in her life, and what emotions was she going through. And you almost feel that you know Evelyn Hugo and you knew her, and that you want to know more about her. And I think that's probably because and it's absolutely my opinion that the character of Evelyn Hugo is not based on one particular person, but it's probably an amalgamation of multiple Hollywood stars that we know of, maybe a bit of Marilyn Monroe, um, definitely a large part of Elizabeth Taylor, just because she had so many marriages, and a few more. So you feel that it's probably not one person, but maybe multiple Hollywood personalities that we've adored, that we really want to know about, and they've all come together into this one character, and it almost gives you a biographical view of Hollywood, or old Hollywood as it was, and so it probably intrigues the reader a bit. Although it is fiction, but the reader feels that it isn't probably fiction, and it's probably the true tale of many of the Hollywood stars that we've seen in the past. So all in all, as I said, the story is nothing home to write about. There is, of course, sort of a twist that comes in the end. But again, it was a good twist, but it wasn't something that wow. It did not leave my jaw open. And I would say that it isn't a great read, but it isn't a bad one either. You will not be wasting your time if you were reading this book. But of course, you need to know what you're getting into, and it is a very common Hollywood pot boiler. I don't know how many times I've used this word. I don't know what a better word would be. Do let me know synonyms for pot boiler. I would love to know that. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to give it a 3 or a 3.5 rating, just because it did manage to keep me glued to it till the end. But otherwise, it's an okayish book to read. And although it's 400 pages, but you will glide past those pages pretty soon. So it is not a very long read either. So if you're in a reading slump, and this is kind of a book that you do like to read, I would say maybe you can restart your reading habit by picking up The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and maybe you would love it as well. So that's all that I had for you today. It was a rather short video, but before you go, why don't you enjoy some of the scenery that I've been enjoying while shooting this video. And so that's it from me for today. Do subscribe and share this video if you liked it. And till the next time, stay healthy and stay safe. Bye for now.